Follow on this relates to news. You had a Black Lives Matter Oklahoma leader, Oklahoma City leader, Tashila Dickerson, accused of 3.115 million in return bail checks into her personal accounts. She allegedly splurged on international travel, retail shopping, personal vehicles, 6 properties, and spent at least $50,000 on food deliveries. Here's a report. You had an incident relating to active shooting in Brown University, which is in Providence, Rhode Island. You had this relates to news reports. You had U.S. soldiers, civilians, and interpreter deleted during an ambush, allegedly ISIS in Syria. That was on the report. You have the famous pop stars Selena. Back in the 80s, her father passed away at 86. You had actor Peter Green. He passed away. Pulp Fiction at age 60. Age 60, he passed away. You had, let's continue with news. You have an U.S. warship Ford moves closer to Venezuela, relating to the guise of the drugs and most of all the oil. When they sieged, relating to oil vessel, U.S. So you have tensions relating to Venezuela and South American countries. U.S. to strike Venezuela like Iran. Now, the other countries going to pick up to defend Venezuela, such as China and other ones, Iran. So, Scripture talks about you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See ye be not troubled, for the end is not by and by yet. For nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, there shall be pestilent earthquakes in different places. For we in the times of sorrows. So you have in different fronts of potential wars and rumors of wars. Hearing of that, and actual wars happening. Potentially South American, with several South American countries, U.S., Venezuela, and different other ones, relating to these the drug incidences, and but most of all relating to oil, especially related to Venezuela. Then you have in the continuation relating to Russia and Ukraine continuing, tensions drawing even more and more. Other countries, the Middle East still is hot. Syria, you had these soldiers and the interpreter and civilians being deleted by ISIS gunmen in Syria. So war is brewing, man. Violence is stirring up, and things are heating up internationally. You had let's continue. Russia strikes Ukraine with a hypersonic retaliation missile. China Coast Guards fire water cannons at Filipino boat. So hearing the wars and rumors of wars, man. Various countries at odds and tensions against one another. Think not that I'll come to send peace on earth when it's already kindled. You know what I mean? In Luke. So the fire is being set forth, man. Think not I'll come to send peace, but rather division. So division, that's the spirit of division upon the earth, man. Upon nations, people, person, place, and things, man. You know what I mean? So divisions being set forth. War. We in stages of World War III, man. Prime Minister PM Pakistan gate crashes Putin Erdogan, which is Prime Minister of Turkey, after 40 minutes. Japan, U.S. condemned China's aggressive moves. You had a tsunami, 6.7 magnitude earthquake hits Japan. Hokkaido region, tsunami warning. You had something a few days ago related to Japan with a tsunami warning and an earthquake as well, I believe 7.6. So, you know, Bulgarian government resigns after mass protests. You had an ex-Pakistani spy chief sentenced 14 years to prison for power abuse. U.S. bomber joins Japan jets in show of force. Japan's still ally. That's the same allies also relinquishing a lot of U.S. bonds and treasuries and debt relating to that as well, man. Keep your enemy close, but keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. You know what I mean? Something like that. U.S. seizes oil tankers as Venezuela's claim blatant theft. So Venezuela claims as blatant theft. Okay, this is Crux Reports. You seeing instability and breakdown of the legitimate governments. These governments respectfully in these countries, as the scripture talks about. So you seeing the fracturing, the divide, the breakdown. You know what I mean? And scripture in Daniel talks about some going to be partially strong and partially weak. So you're going to have countries that's going to be partially strong, but you're also going to have some are going to be partially weak, vulnerable, and fragile, man. And that's why they don't cleave, they don't mesh together. You know what I mean? And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing that, especially these little lower countries versus the upper countries. You know what I mean? They're not meshing, they're not cleaving together because one is stronger, some are stronger, some are weaker, man. And you're seeing, and that causes also relating to the breakdown of these governments. And really, the Lord is breaking down this society, man. You know what I mean? So, let me get something real quick. The fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. The fourth is the last. Previous stronger than the fourth. Previous three. Iron relates to Rome. And revised Rome is a continuation through a new management of a new head, which is America. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces, subdueth all things. The iron that breaketh all these shall break in pieces and bruise. And whereas they saw the feet and the toes in the potter's clay, and part of iron, and the kingdom was divided. So you're going to see the division relating to the kingdoms. That's part of not meshing and not cleaving together as well. But there shall be in the strength of the iron, for as much as soft iron mixed with miry clay. And the toes of the feet were part iron and part clay. So the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And that's what you're seeing. And you're seeing that these legitimate respected countries, some are partly strong, and some are partly weak or broken, man. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, and shall mingle themselves with the seed of man, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is mixed well with clay. Two different elements, man. It's like what is that? It's like vinegar and oil. They don't mix. So they're not going to mesh together, and that's what you're seeing, man. You know what I mean? It relates to the rulership. This iron, which is the continuation, iron of Roman, then the revised Roman, through the continuation of ancient Rome, through new management of America. With EU and the other nations as a conglomerate, but some are partly strong relating to some of those nations, and others are partly weak, especially the smaller, more vulnerable nations. So some iron and some clay, man. That's why they're divided, and that's why they don't mesh or cleave together, man. You know what I mean? And that makes vulnerability. You know what I mean? So that was just a few. I hope it helps relating to information. You know what I mean? And that's what you're seeing, man. So as powerful as this country is, man, there's a lot of holes, there's a lot of vulnerability, and a lot of weak points, man, relating to as far as these nations really cleaving together and being as one. So, you know what I mean? So that's why you have the indirect direct division, man. That being said, this is Ayawa for Hope It Helps. Yo, praise Yahbashim Yashab Bashim Kakadash. The water for the men and truth, relating truth and knowledge, relating to truth and knowledge. I hope it helps relating to information most of all. Shalom.